Hello, friends. Have you ever started your morning with a spoonful of honey? Stirred into warm water? I know so many of us do. There's something wonderful about that golden sweetness, isn't there? But here's the thing. While we all know honey is good for us, do we really know how to eat it properly to get all those amazing health benefits? Today, I want to sit down with you and have a chat about honey. We'll talk about why it's been treasured for thousands of years, the wonderful things it does for our bodies, and, this is really important, how to eat it the right way. Because believe it or not, there are ways to eat honey that can actually destroy all those precious nutrients we're looking for. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's dive in. First, let's talk about why honey is such a health superstar. You know, honey isn't just a modern health trend. People have been using it for healing for thousands of years, and there's a really good reason for that. Think about how honey is made for a moment. Bees visit hundreds, sometimes thousands of flowers, collecting nectar and pollen. Then they transform all of that into this concentrated, nutrient-rich substance. It's like nature's own multivitamin, packed into a delicious golden syrup. Let me share 3 incredible ways honey supports our health. First, let's talk about its antibacterial and anti-inflammatory powers. This is absolutely fascinating. Honey contains something called propolis. It's a natural antibiotic substance that bees make. But that's not all. When honey sits in your body, enzymes in the honey actually create hydrogen peroxide. Yes, the same stuff we use to clean wounds. This gives honey amazing antibacterial properties. This is why your grandmother might have told you to take honey when you had a sore throat or were catching a cold. She wasn't just being old-fashioned, she was absolutely right. The honey helps fight off those bacteria and soothes inflammation. Many of us have experienced this ourselves, haven't we? That soothing feeling when honey coats your throat. Now, the second benefit, it's wonderful for digestion. Honey is packed with natural enzymes. These include things like amylase and various digestive enzymes that help break down carbohydrates. They essentially help your digestive system do its job more smoothly. If you've ever felt uncomfortable after a heavy meal, try having just 1 spoonful of honey afterward. Many people notice they feel lighter, more comfortable. It's like giving your stomach a gentle helping hand. This makes honey particularly valuable for people who deal with occasional indigestion or sensitive stomachs. And third, this is really exciting. Honey is loaded with antioxidants. You've probably heard about antioxidants in berries and green tea, right? Well, honey is absolutely packed with them too. Specifically, it contains polyphenols and flavonoids. These are powerful compounds that protect our cells from something called free radicals. Think of free radicals as little troublemakers in your body that can damage your cells and speed up aging. Antioxidants are like your body's defense team, protecting those cells. When you eat honey regularly over time, you're helping your body fight off cellular damage, slow down aging, and even potentially reduce cancer risk. Pretty amazing for something that tastes like dessert, isn't it? Now, here comes the really important part that so many people don't know about. Let me share 4 crucial things you need to remember when eating honey. Number 1, and this is so important, never use high heat with honey. I know, we've all stirred honey into a steaming cup of tea, right? I used to do it all the time. But here's what happens. Those precious enzymes, vitamins, and minerals in honey are very delicate. When you expose them to high temperatures, they break down and lose their effectiveness. The digestive enzymes in honey work best between 95 to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. That's just slightly warmer than body temperature. When you pour honey into boiling hot tea or coffee, you're essentially cooking away all the good stuff. So what should you do instead? Wait until your tea or coffee has cooled down to lukewarm, comfortable enough that you could drink it right away, without burning your tongue. That's the perfect temperature for honey. Or even better, stir it into cool or room temperature beverages. Your honey will still taste sweet and delicious, but it'll keep all its health benefits intact. Second point, be aware of possible allergies. Now, this doesn't affect everyone, but it's worth knowing about. Honey contains tiny amounts of pollen from the flowers the bees visited. For most of us, this is perfectly fine. But for some people, especially those with seasonal allergies or pollen sensitivities, this could trigger a reaction. If you've never eaten raw, unprocessed honey before, or if you know you have allergies, start with just a small amount. Maybe half a teaspoon. See how your body responds over the next few hours. If everything's fine, you can gradually increase the amount. It's always better to be cautious. Third, watch out when combining honey with other sugary foods. Here's something to keep in mind. Even though honey is natural, it's still quite high in sugar. It's natural sugar, yes, but it still affects your blood sugar levels. If you're having honey along with other sweet foods, like putting it on pastries or stirring it into sweetened yogurt, all that sugar adds up quickly. Your blood sugar can spike suddenly, which isn't good for anyone. But it's especially concerning if you have diabetes or pre-diabetes. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy honey. Just be mindful. Maybe if you're having honey with your breakfast, skip the jam on your toast. Or if you're sweetening your oatmeal with honey, don't add dried fruit. It's all about balance. And finally, This is absolutely critical. Never, ever give honey to babies under 1 year old. I need to stress this because it's a matter of safety. Honey can contain spores of bacteria called Clostridium botulinum. In adults and older children, our digestive systems and immune systems can handle these spores without any problem. But babies under 1 year haven't developed that ability yet. For infants, these spores can cause a serious condition called infant botulism, which can be life-threatening. So even though honey is natural and healthy for the rest of us, it's strictly off limits for babies. Once they turn 1 year old and their immune systems have matured, then it's safe. But until then, absolutely no honey, not even a tiny taste. Alright, now that you know how to eat honey properly, let's talk about how to choose it in the first place. Let me share some tips to help you spot genuine, pure honey. First, read that ingredient label carefully. This is your first and most important check. Pure honey should have exactly one ingredient listed: honey. That's it, just 100% honey, or simply honey. If you see things like corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, rice syrup, or anything else listed in the ingredients, put it back on the shelf. Those products are honey mixed with cheaper sweeteners. You're not getting the real thing. Second, look for crystallization, and don't be afraid of it. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. If your honey turns cloudy or starts to crystallize, you know, when it gets thick and grainy, sometimes almost white looking, that's actually a good sign. Pure, raw honey naturally crystallizes over time. It's completely normal and actually indicates that you have real honey. If you've had honey sitting in your pantry for months, and it's still perfectly clear and liquid, that might actually be a red flag. If your honey does crystallize, don't worry. You can easily return it to liquid form by placing the jar in a bowl of warm water. Just remember, keep it below that temperature threshold. Third, check the source and producer information. Good quality honey should tell you where it came from. Look for clear information about the producer, the location where it was harvested, and ideally, what flowers the bees visited. Local honey from trusted beekeepers is often your best bet. These producers typically have strict quality controls and take pride in their product. When you can, try to buy from farmers markets, local beekeepers, or brands that provide transparent information about their sourcing. So there you have it, friends. Let's do a quick recap. Honey is an incredible natural health food with antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, digestive, and antioxidant benefits. But to get all these benefits, you need to eat it the right way. Keep it away from high heat. Be cautious if you have allergies. Watch your overall sugar intake, and never give it to babies under 1 year old. When shopping, look for pure honey with just one ingredient. Don't be scared of crystallization, and buy from reputable sources. A spoonful of good quality honey, eaten the right way, can be a small but meaningful addition to a healthy lifestyle. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for that jar of honey, you'll know exactly what you're doing and why. Thanks so much for spending this time with me today. Take care, and I'll see you next time.